At the appropriate time, after you've been a good listener and asked some intelligent questions, ask permission to have a commercial professional make contact. That's kind of the closing question. If this guy's name was Bob, I'd say, Bob, don't you think it would make sense for one of our commercial professionals to touch base with you and make contact with you and see if they could be of help to you? Do I have your permission? Could I get one of them to talk with you about it? I'm not the right person, but I know the right person, and I'd like to refer you to them. I really respect our relationship, and I have a lot of confidence in the people I'm going to refer. And so you just sell it. You then refer, and you refer providing as much detail as possible. Everything you need to know, everything the other person needs to know, that's what you need to include in this kind of referral. And then I think you then have to monitor. I think you need to communicate and you need to confirm. In other words, you need to make sure that Bob's talked to the guy's gotten in touch with Bob. You need to say, Bob, what'd you think? How'd you like him? What did you know? You can be an intermediary because the idea is to get hired. And you want Bob to hire your commercial referral broker. So that's simple. That's it. That's how you recognize a referral opportunity. You ask for the business. You don't ask for the business. You just ask, can I get somebody to help you that's a real pro? Now I want to talk about, and we finished that one, I want to talk about recognizing a qualified referral opportunity. Now, this is a slide that you might want a copy of, but it's a tough slide. I just want to prepare you for it. This one is going to be what I call a qualified referral. And let me preface it like this. I played a little basketball, and the basketball coach preached to us, it may be different today, but he said, don't take a shot you're not sure you can make. Don't take a shot you're not sure you can make. And so I have taken that philosophy into business, and I'm taking it and sharing it with you today. Obviously, if you bump into somebody in the grocery line and they say, man, I'm looking for, you're in real estate, I saw your realtor button, I need a commercial, and you just get their card, yeah, refer it. I think that's great. But I don't call that a highly qualified referral because the guy doesn't know you, they don't necessarily like you, they don't necessarily trust you, have no experience with you, they're not going to necessarily listen to what you want to tell them, and you don't know anything about it. So here they are. They have a need for a commercial real estate solution. That's the first thing. Let's make sure this is real. The second thing is they are aware of their commercial real estate need. Some people have a need. Let's say guys busting at the seams. You can't even get a parking spot in their office. Let's say it's a freestanding office that they operate. You can't even get in the parking lot. You can't. It's a pain. But they haven't realized that they need to move. They need bigger space. So they are aware. Third, they have the authority to execute a solution strategy. If I use slang, are you the man? Are you the man? You want to be with the man. If not, you want to understand where they are in that authority process. They have a budget approved to execute a solution strategy. Now we're really getting down the line. Now I'm not saying you got to have all of these things, but I'm just trying to tell you what a slam dunk would look like because you don't miss too many of those. You got the money to do this? Are you the man? You got the money? They have a relative sense of urgency about the real estate decision. This is a big one. I want you to read this individually, and then I'm going to read it to you. They are familiar with you and your company. They like you. They trust you. You're proven. You're a safe choice. And they have had a satisfactory past experience and are willing to be guided by what you say. You're not asking them for a commitment. You're just simply saying, do I have your permission to connect you with an expert that can help you? You're not asking them for the business. That's the commercial broker's responsibility. But if you got all of these, that's what I call a really highly qualified referral. Okay, I got a little test for you. Let me explain this. And I want you to kind of think this through and decide how you're going to answer the question. So if the person has a commercial requirement, and we're talking about a qualified commercial referral opportunity, one way of thinking about it is that they're either investors over here on the left, and if they're an investor, they're looking for the money. Show me the money, like Jerry Maguire. Okay? Dollars, cash flows. If they are on the right-hand side, they are a user of space. They're all about square footage. They want a location. Now, if they're an investor, going back over here to the left-hand corner, they could be an investor who's seeking to buy another investment property. They could be an investor who wants to sell an investment property. Going toward the middle here, a user, it could be a user who's seeking a new location to buy or lease. Or it could be an owner who wants to sell or lease their user property. And user properties is what the majority of the business is. For example, if I owned an office building as an investor, that would be one deal. Okay, I bought the building. But there may be 20 tenants, and so there's 20 leases in that deal, and those are users. And here's the question. Think about this. Who do you think, because we're talking about qualified commercial referral opportunity, who do you think you would put the check mark and the number one by being the best qualified commercial referral opportunity? Which one of these boxes at the bottom, those bottom four boxes, which one would you label number one? Well, I'll show you. A user seeking a new location to buy or lease. Anything dealing with a user who needs to either get smaller or larger. And they're going one way or another. In these markets, they probably want to get smaller. But in some markets, they're going to want to get bigger. That's the number one. Okay, so we've eliminated one. This is kind of like lifelines here. You've got three more choices. Your odds are getting better. Which one would be number two? It's on the user side again. It's an owner who, let's say their business is doing really well, but they need a new facility, and they've got a little storefront with some warehouse in back. Can you picture it? And they just bought a home, or they worked with you before, and they say you bump into them, and you're talking with them, and you're tracking them, and they say, yeah, I'm about to bust out of our office. We're looking at buying, relocating. Perfect. Perfect. Number three, an investor who wants to sell an investment property. Now, some of you would say, I don't understand why that's number three. I mean, those are always scarce, and you're exactly right. But I want to make this timely. And today, those people are in denial. They can't believe. See, they're kind of saying, I should have sold this property 2 years ago. Well, they're right. They should have. Because the values have all changed. Cap rates have gone up. Values have gone down. Financing is more difficult. And so that's difficult. But they might be stressed. They might need the money. So they could be a good, and all of these are leads. Don't get me wrong. I'm just trying to make them the most qualified. Let me talk about number four, because this is what a lot of us come across. Number four is an investor seeking to buy an investment property. Well, so let me help you make this more qualified. The first thing you have to ask, if somebody says, hey, I've got $500,000, I'd like to put it in real estate, the first thing you need to ask is say, well, what kind of non-residential real estate do you own today? Now, if they say, I don't own any, that's not the right answer. If they say, well, I've got 10 different properties or 4 different properties, that's a better answer. But here's the reason it's still number four. Because quite often they don't have any urgency.